The last 5 years at the museum have probably been the most transformational in our history. We went from being a place that was for things and objects to a place that was for people and was telling the stories of the people of this island.
The museum is a collection of stories. It's the stories of all peoples, whether it's the Native Americans, African Americans, descendants of European peoples, whaling captains, Brazilians, Jamaicans, people of all different religions, sexual orientations. It's a welcoming place where we all belong.
We've grown in ways that I am incredibly proud of. But the organization of the last 100 years was one that allowed us to get where we are, but is in some ways a prologue to the real story, which is the next 100 years.
Every time we come, it's like the first time again. I think it's absolutely invaluable.
I think the island deserves a museum that tells its story in its complexity and its depth and breadth.
Making sure that the people that we have on the island that have been here to kind of make it what it is are recognized and valued.
The museum is a world-class collection of art and artifacts, of course, but most importantly, a world-class collection of stories. They do more than remember us at our best. They remind us to be better.
We had everything from discovery days for really young children, and then we also had Bo Van Riper's really popular history course. We had programs for members that were outside. We had concerts outside. We celebrated our 100th birthday. It's about using the museum as a venue that draws our community together.
I think exhibitions play one of the most critical roles in getting people to understand what a museum is and also seeing themselves as a part of that story. So for instance, we did an exhibition around Dorothy West this summer. We wouldn't have been able to do this exhibition back in Edgartown because Harvard requires us to have a certain kind of facility that has climate control, that has security, that has the space to store these things, to show these things properly. So being here allows us to bring that story to fruition. We are the in-house fabricators, graphic designers, researchers, writers, editors, installers. We really do it all, so the process is many steps.
The responsibility of any museum is to collect all of these stories and hold all of these stories so that we can contextualize what's happening in the world around us.
I think the museum does an excellent job of trying to hold on to those historical parts of the vineyard, whether it's the ancient past or even the recent past in the last 20 or 30 years.
I think one of the most important things that we do here at the museum is the work that we do with island school kids.
We communicate with teachers, we develop lessons based around what we house in our museum and the stories that we hold.
Suddenly you say, aha, there was a person in history, in the past, who touched this, who made this, and I can see that, you know? It's not just this beautiful object in a case. It's something that was owned and used.
When you're at Lucy Vincent Beach, who's Lucy Vincent? And asking those questions about where you are growing up, it kind of connects the people that are learning in a certain place. I think that's the beauty of working with the museum.
I remember one day I said to my granddaughter and her little girlfriends, we're going to the Martha's Vineyard Museum. And they were like, oh, we don't want to go. But we came, and I couldn't get them out. They were so excited about the exhibits and everything they saw, and they had such a great time.
The work of building the museum that we want to be 100 years from now begins now.
The more that we can allow people different ways to come in and connect with the story, the more that they're going to be able to walk away with something, you know, that stays with them.
My hope is that the next 100 years continue to be a time of connection within the community and expansion.
We're here tonight because in our own ways, we each belong to the vineyard and the vineyard belongs to us. But it's not ours alone. It must be shared. This is a great gift we were given 100 years ago, when the island citizens created this museum as an insurance policy for the against losing the stories that make Martha's Vineyard special. It lets us honor our community and celebrate it with neighbors, with visitors, with our kids.